How you doing, squad?
What's up, gang?
Here in the wonderful world of make believe, we have both had some experiences with Switch games, Switch consoles, Switch products,
Yep.
and Chris has some feelings about it. I have some feelings about it. I know that my hope was, and tell me if you agree, and if you don't agree, you can tell me that as well. It's fine.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay. My hope was getting into Switch that things that were made for the Switch would look better and play better. Like I thought that things that were ported to the Switch would have looked a little clunkier, a little
Is there
less
is there a game that's coming to mind right now
that
that stands out to you?
as far as what would look good or what looks
What
bad.
doesn't look good so far?
So, well, we didn't play a lot, but we played the I watched you play a little bit of the GTA trilogy on
Yeah.
the Switch, and knowing what that looks like on console, to see it on the Switch, I feel like I could see where it was diminished,
Right.
not only graphically but in the play. Like it felt clunkier, it
Laggy.
lagging.
Yeah.
The
There's definitely a lot of it. Not only you were talking about the latency issues because you
you know,
took a little test drive on GTA as well.
and there were it seemed like there was some latency issues, like the controls were sluggish to respond while you're driving,
Yeah.
and you can't have that
Right.
in GTA.
Yeah. There's most certainly like when you unpause, there's
Yeah,
like a whole second where it doesn't register anything you're doing. The turning the wheel, accelerating, nothing,
yeah,
walking. Um, that and there's definitely a lot of bugs that came with it. There's moments where like you're running and I don't know what it's trying to generate that causes this, but you'll be running and it starts to look like a Doom game. Like it starts to run like that 8-bit style
yeah.
almost for a brief moment, but
And
yeah.
and bef- before we get into how you felt about Hogwarts Legacy, let me say that again, my hope is that the games that were built for the Switch,
Talking like Bayonetta.
like the Bayonetta sequels or Mario games, or things that were made for the Switch first, let's say.
Right. Pokemon, Mario,
Yeah,
mainline
mainline Nintendo stuff,
Kirby, Metroid, yeah.
that stuff would play better versus things that were ported to the Switch
Right.
just to generate more traffic to the Switch,
Yeah.
because otherwise Nintendo's not making a strong case on the things that get ported to it.
Right.
I will probably not enjoy trying to play the Batman Arkham trilogy,
I'd be curious to see how it looks on a Switch too.
and maybe that's one of those things we were talking about where there's games that are going to play better. What do we call it? Docked
Yeah.
than they will off the
The handheld.
off the handheld.
Yeah. Like maybe that screen processing takes away from the
Again,
game's capability.
yeah, the
But I mean, on one hand, you can say that, but I mean, when you look at the file sizes from what you download on the Xbox or the PlayStation for the definitive edition versus what you have on the Switch, I mean, that's two completely different sizes.
they're massive, massive difference, and I think you're losing so much for the sake of portability that with a
Yeah.
lot of games, I don't know that it's even worth it.
Yeah. So I bought Hogwarts Legacy digitally just because it was on sale, and why not? So here we are. I own it for three consoles now. That's cool.
I don't even own Control across three platforms.
I have a feeling I'm really gonna like it when I finally sit down and play it, though. Like I think I'm really gonna enjoy the game,
Well, you really
and
what?
that's why I got it because I'll play it on the Switch just for the convenience of playing it. Because like we've said, I'm never going to find time to sit down and play it on the console, at least not right now.
Yeah.
So for now, the portability is convenience. It's also made me ponder getting a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to invest almost $400 in a Switch 2, why not just get a Steam Deck used for another couple $100?
I
Then you've got portability, you've got quality.
when their Steam machine comes out, if it's not already out, I'm not sure.
I don't know when the drop date's supposed to be for that.
I don't know if it's dropped yet or not. I haven't done the appropriate research, but it does make a compelling case for getting it, assuming it can do all the things that it says it does.
Yeah, like if you can give me Hogwarts Legacy
Yeah,
at all, not even necessary. I'm not even expecting PlayStation or Xbox quality, but
yeah.
give it to me better than what it is on that Switch. Give me some middle ground where I'm like, oh wow, I can actually see the sweat on his face or something. Give me that. But um, I you're losing a lot putting it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which I mean, again, Hogwarts Legacy digitally downloaded on the Switch is 17 gigabytes. Hogwarts Legacy in a PlayStation 5 with a disc, the data it takes on that is like 90 something
It's
or 85.
81.5.
Okay. So I mean, you're talking 60 gigabyte difference. There's a lot of smoothing and shading that goes into 60 gigabytes. So
There's a lot they do with 60 gig, and I with some games you're probably not losing too much going backwards like that.
there is no actual release date yet, just early 2026.
That the Steam machine, along with the Steam controller and Steam Frame VR headset,
So you would get all three pieces or get a VR with it.
yeah,
That'd be pretty cool. I would like to see the pricing on it though.
official pricing update has, what did that say? Gamers concerned.
And we can see why.
It must be up close to $1,000.
I mean, are we expecting anything else?
I don't know. It's taken too long to get to what they expect the price to be.
I don't even see an actual number.
Recently discussed the potential price tag and what it could mean for.
Yeah,
There isn't any way Valve will release it at the initial speculated price point now.
I wonder what that was. So that must be what it looks like with the headset.
Yeah,
That's a weird
that's
controller.
a tiny little tower. Look at
Well,
that
it doesn't
thing.
need to, it just needs to process it.
It looks like about half of a Series X
It
tower.
looks like your internet modem.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Go back up a little bit. Oh, that's the gigs. I thought that was a.
Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing a price anywhere. I'd be curious to see what that price tag, even the initial drop price was supposed to be.
While we're talking prices, because
Oh, yeah.
this one dropped over the. There's two price things to talk about.
Yeah.
The first one, uh, to stay on to stay
Nintendo.
on Nintendo and stay on Switch, is
Yeah.
that Nintendo has announced they're dropping the prices on their games, buying disc versus buying digital,
Yeah.
and the digital versions are costing $10 less than buying them physically, which I to me is a kick you in the face way of saying, hey, we're dropping prices when they're not actually really dropping prices because they're just jacking the prices up on their consoles.
Yeah. When they jacked the prices up on the game, about the time they dropped the Switch 2, I think they were one of the first ones to really up the price on games.
Yeah.
And they were in the $70 market long before anybody else was.
Still saying pre-owned Switch games cost more to buy than pre-owned PlayStation or pre-owned Xbox games, and they've been out just as long or longer.
Pre-owned games cost the same as new.
they're basically costing the same as new.
There's
Yes,
times I've walked into GameStop and it's been the exact same price for a sealed one and an open used one.
two we when we were at GameStop recently, Metroid Prime Remaster, whichever Metroid Prime Remastered is, there was $2 difference between that game, sealed brand new and pre-owned.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I mean, but
exactly what the prices were, but it was still let's say it was almost $50 brand new,
right.
and it was $2 difference to pre-owned.
That's insane to
And
me.
that game has been out for at least, all right, let's say 3 or 4 years.
Right. But every single Pokemon game that has came out for the Switch is still $60,
This is why I
$70.
this is why I say this is why people don't understand the protest. Why I say fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'd like to mod one. I'd like to see how far it could go.
Yeah.
Because if you can mod it and you can get your games on it for free like a PSP, I'm not going to be as upset about latency issues. I'm not going to be as bothered by the fact that it's not as
Oh,
well.
I'm still gonna be bothered. If it wasn't for the fact that like I wanna play the Bayonetta games and Donkey Kong still appeals to me as a franchise, and I'm just curious enough about Metroid that it's like, hey, they made a first person shooter Metroid game
Right.
rather than the traditional side scroller. If it wasn't for those things,
Then you wouldn't even be interested.
I wouldn't touch Nintendo.
Right. Well, you know, you know my feelings about it just because of portability. And I mean, I'm somewhere in the range of like 85 to 90% through 100% completing GTA 3. And I just got that 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
I want to say. Yeah.
you're gonna
Um,
have to be on to something else. I mean,
and then I
man,
might play Vice City and San Andreas. I think games like that, yeah, like there's a latency issue, but like the game is also
higher resolutions and frame rates, resulting in improved graphics and in performance.
so there
We're
you go.
asking Google whether it plays better docked or
Does the
not.
Switch play better? And it says it does. Overall, the Switch's docked mode offers a convenient way to amplify the gaming experience, seamlessly transitioning between handheld and gaming console gaming modes while maintaining high performance levels and visual quality. So why don't we dock it after we get done with this and see how we feel about Hogwarts Legacy? Because I haven't played it docked.
We could try it out.
But I mean, it's you're still going to see issues.
It's not gonna look as sexy as it does on console.
It's not,
It's not.
and that's fine. But for the sake of having it conveniently, I mean that I admit, like this is where it appeals to me so much and makes me fascinated by it and want to keep it is that it's portable and dockable at the same time.
Yeah.
It's both something like man,
I
I've been taking
wonder
this to work.
I
I've been
wonder
playing on my lunch break.
how much better a Switch 2 is gonna run it.
Well, I'll tell you now, I've already looked it up, and a Switch OLED and a Switch One have no difference between the two other than the screen. They do not have any internal differences
Yeah.
and things like that. All right, so let's go. The Switch 2 features a large main unit measuring 4.5 inches tall by 10.7 inches wide. I mean, it's huge in comparison.
Yeah.
Um, half-inch thick compared to the original Switch's 4 by 9.4 by 5 a half inch. Its screen size is 7.9 inches, up from 6.2 on the original Switch, while the OLED model has a 7-inch display. Despite rumors the Switch 2 retains an LCD display rather than an OLED, the kickstand has been redesigned to cover the entire back and is adjustable to multiple angles, improving stability over the original Switch's flimsy stand. Both consoles maintain similar port layouts, including USB, HDMI, and LAN. The Switch 2 is faster and more powerful, supporting 4K output at 60 frames per second when docked, and offering sharper graphics. It also introduces smarter Joy-Con controllers and enhanced system performance. However, battery life is slightly shorter than the original Switch. The console supports micro SD express cards for storage expansion, unlike the original Switch, which can use micro standard ones. So yeah, there you go. I mean, the only thing I will say I've held a Switch too. Tim brought his in lunch one time, and I got to hold it and feel it, and it's big, it's heavy, and that's what makes me say if I'm gonna buy something big and heavy, and I'm gonna spend $400 on it, I might as well just go digital and go Steam.
There is such a more adult train of thought that enters into my head while you're discussing this, where you're comparing one versus the other, and I'm thinking, man, is it the difference between having a never mind. I'm sorry. I was like,
No, you're gonna have to tell me now. You've already started.
well, we got to make sure we tag this video, right? Because this is going to go completely into the adult territory. But that, like saying you're comparing the difference between a stripper and a hooker because like
I mean, that's fair.
just
One I get the full experience with, the one I get most of. It's enough to get by most
am I
times.
justifying how much money I'm spending here for what I'm getting back out of it?
Yeah, I like that. That's funny. I'm glad you pitched that one. Thank you.
I don't know. That was it. Just of course, I guess we know where my mind's
Yeah,
at.
but I mean, tell me. So, what do you pick? Do you put a little more money out and enjoy it for longer, or more of an enhanced experience? I mean, if I could stream Hogwarts Legacy at 4K, 60 frames per second on my Switch 2, do I need an Xbox?
Well, you should already be able to play Hogwarts on Xbox at 60 frames or better,
I know it
depending on what
does.
kind of TV you got.
Right. I don't.
As long as
Mine's 4K. I just don't know that it's anything special like 120 frames or gaming specific. It's just
you got to pay real close
bare bones.
attention to that stuff.
Yeah. It might only be a 30 frame TV. I don't even know if they make less than 60. I'm not entirely sure if that's a thing or not.
You gotta really pay attention. Native, you gotta run those TVs. You want them to run native
Well,
120.
see, I get gaming monitors.
Yeah,
So like that's supposed to be 144 native hertz. So, but if the console's not able to push it out, so the gamers in the computer industry say, you
yeah.
know, and I don't know, it's just it appeals to me. I could play Call of Duty on
I
the same
I
thing that I play Hogwarts Legacy on,
I understand the appeal of
but I just hate buying my
portability.
things digitally.
I understand the appeal. I understand, I'll say it again. I understand the appeal
So
of
you get one?
portability. I have one.
No, I'm saying a Steam Deck.
Oh, a Steam Deck,
Or are you gonna get the Steam what
the
machine?
Steam machine. Uh,
Would you consider it instead of going into the next generation?
no, not as a replacement. No,
No.
no, because from what unless I'm really misunderstanding something, and the Steam machine is going to really open up, and you can play whatever, soup to nuts, whatever on a Steam machine. No, because at least the way I understand the industry reports, next gen Xbox and PlayStation are supposed to unlock their libraries, and you can go back and play any generation disc on the next tower.
There's 146,012 games on Steam.
Well, then I'd really have to start
That's a
nickel.
lot of games.
I'd have to start nickel and diming that list of games.
Yeah, I'd be curious at because I mean, right there it says more than 119,000 indie titles.
Including more than 119,000.
So I mean, you're only talking like
All right, if it's 100,
20, 25,000 games,
yeah,
like
20.
mainline games. But I mean, that's this. It's the same thing with the Switch. Seems like a lot of those games are just a bunch of indie games. I mean, you scroll that deals list, once you get about 6 pages down, you don't even see the word Mario, Pokemon, or
I'm
anything anymore.
look, maybe I'm not saying there can't be good indie games out there from indie developers, but if I can't play my Spider-Man games on it, get it out of my face.
You probably can. You just probably can't play your PS2 and your PS3 versions.
Well,
Speaking of, did you see that PS3 at Retro Jake's?
no,
They got the fat 80 gigabyte one that plays your PS2 game,
really.
PS2 and PS1 games. $110. I think was the price tag on that. I didn't think that was that bad. You're
Th-
itching now, aren't you?
This is the part where I'm like, what are we still doing here right now?
What can I trade in?
I got an old PS3, and I got at least enough cash to cover that until Thursday.
Do
So
you?
I can get rid of a PS3 and a PS2
Two,
right
yeah,
now, assuming it's still there.
right. Well, maybe we'll pop the dock on and check, make sure Hogwarts doesn't have an update that I haven't seen in the past week. And we'll
We might
check
have to go over to
check them
Jake's real
out.
quick.
Yeah, see what they got going on today. That
Yeah,
was like Saturday. I seen the picture, and usually that's when they get stuff in on Friday. I'll be honest. There's a lot of stuff I see in that stack that by the time we make it over there,
it's gone.
it's gone. Yeah, but I'll tell you, Jake's. I don't like the price on everything, but I'll tell you, they got the collectible stuff. You know, they get that Pokemon XD GameCube with XD Gale of something. They just dropped it on the Nintendo Switch expansion GameCube game set, but you can only play the GameCube games in that set if you have a Switch too.
To to give the background, Jake's Retro Jake's is another shop here in town like Dave's, and the guy that ran that shop actually bought it off the guy who owned it before, who basically abandoned maybe their business had been floundering for a while, but he basically abandoned the shop in the middle of the night. He shut it down in the middle of the night so he wouldn't have to honor any outstanding gift cards that were still out there in the wind somewhere. And he called his employees at like 2 o'clock in the morning and told them they didn't have jobs anymore.
That's crazy.
And it basically just sat until the guy that owns Jake's was like, "Well, I'm going to buy your store and I'm going to buy all your inventory from you."
Right.
And I mean, he basically just
Took it right over from where it left off.
corner to corner handed him the shop and everything in it,
Yeah.
and the arcade next door, and all the machines sitting in the lobby.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
They
want to
didn't
do
they
more with
didn't
it.
change anything. Like they
Yeah.
didn't, wholesale have to redecorate. He basically sold the shop exactly as it was, inventory and all.
I mean, they spruced it up, but it's the same setup as it was before.
You know,
They got a few workshops in it where they'll fix most of your stuff there too, which is kind of cool.
he might have gone through and repriced everything just a scotch lower than what it was before, but it's basically the same store.
Yeah. I
And a
mean, you
lot of
find a lot of those big name titles that you are looking for that do. I mean, if you're on the hunt for something like
it's it
Retro Jakes is probably the one that'll have it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna pay whatever you'd find it on eBay for, so
Most of the guys that worked at GameStop are leaving GameStop to go there.
mm, they always post who their new employees are and
Like the guy that we talked to the last time we were at GameStop, he's going to Jake's. Like his last day was that day.
really,
Yeah. I was in there with Amber that day. But anyway, at any rate, he said then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going over to Jake's." I was like, "You were like the fifth person to leave GameStop to go to Jake's that I know."
I don't think GameStop's gonna make it till the end of the year. I'd be hard pressed to see.
I don't know.
They're trying everything they can under
They're
the sun.
they're pulling out all the stops to
Pokemon battles
survive.
and
You know,
Magic the Gathering battles. We've been in there one time.
they're ha-
Never
they're
seen people in there actually doing it.
they've either just left or they're walking in to get get their seats ready to get started, and we've already left by then. I don't know.
Yeah,
It,
I'm sure there's tournament times and stuff like that and set
yeah,
days, but still
they'll get those tournaments in there just to try to
get somebody in there.
find a way. It's like, well, while they're here,
Might buy a Red Bull
they might buy a Red Bull, they might get a
clearance item.
handful of previously owned PS4 games that they're like me. They've been shuffled through their collection at least 8 or 9 times by now, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, this might be the time something sticks.
Yeah.
So
No, but I mean, I don't know that I foresee GameStop making it much longer. And
um,
it's not even that like when it comes to their games, they're not bad priced. I don't appreciate the fact that when something doesn't have its original artwork that you seem to think that it's still worth the same amount with. I don't care for that, but
yeah, they
Retro Jake's is the same way. I think they give you like $1 off or something.
oh Jake's hosed me on that game that I bought from them,
Which one?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look, also again, we didn't get back to our second pricing point. So before I forget what it is, let's cover this real quick. Sony dropped the announcement this week that they are raising the prices on their PS5 consoles. 100 for standard PS, going up 100 standard PS5, going up 100 PS5 digital. Pros are going up $150. So it is bold fortune that I managed to pick mine up when I did.
Yeah.
And that was due to continued economic pressures in the global financial landscape.
I just appreciate the fact that they're feeling it like I'm feeling it, apparently.
Well, everybody's gonna,
All these multi-million-dollar companies are just hurting so bad.
oh yeah.
I just don't understand. If you're hurting, then if it's not working, change it. Something's not right in the math.
We all understand what has gone wrong in this Thanksgiving formula. Okay, we all understand why turkey is not tasty, but nobody wants to do anything about it. So now gas is up over $4 a gallon.
Yeah. Gas is
all of
disgusting.
all of everybody is raising their prices like crazy, despite the fact that people keep saying, "Man, the economy's doing better than it ever has, and prices are so low. America's winning around the clock. We're just nonstop win." We've turned into to DJ Khaled around here. What the fuck? All we do is win.
That's right.
Who are you kidding? And so they made that announcement. Luckily, I got mine before they dropped that announcement because God, try to get it now.
I
People
mean,
laugh in my face. I mean, if you want to spend the money, you want to spend the money. I applaud you that money is no object, but for the rest of us who live in something closer to reality, we got to pick and choose. And
it's a bold statement for somebody that got their PlayStation Pro on a whim. Like,
and what
didn't.
what do you think is going to suffer because I made that financial decision?
Well, I mean, that's fair, but that was just a bold statement.
I got mine because I got lucky and I got people who back me when I want to make stupid decisions.
Good looking out, Skylar.
Good looking out Skylar, good looking out Chris, good looking out the people who
What I do? I'm just a pretty face.
look ever we've all got that friend who backs us even when we're about to do something stupid. And I'm not going to say that Chris is my yes man, but he's also not the guy that's like, think of your bills. Don't you owe money to your dad?
I get to live vicariously through him. Get the pro. Get the pro. Get the pro.
I, I and my father is probably the chief architect. My father and my mother,
Don't discredit her.
uh, they are the chief architects in me being able to live a life where I make room for things I want as well as the things that are necessary. Because without them, I would not have anything that sits before me today, and I would not be in a position where I could say, oh well, I have a PS5 already to trade in on store credit
Yeah.
to get a PS5 Pro with.
Right.
And if it was, hey, you still owe me almost $4,000, so you are not going to be spending any money
Right.
anywhere else. You were going to get me paid. If my father was something like an actual credit card company, I'd live in abject misery basically every day. But my father and my mother are very giving people and very forgiving people,
It's true.
and where I should have spent money trying to get them paid back for all the kindness they give me. I'm selfish enough that it's like, oh, well, my day sucked and I need a treat. So, PS5 Pro. And I don't know, I guess that's a symptom of being human, if I might quote Shinedown. And
Great band.
most of the time, yeah. And I think it's Brent Smith.
No idea.
I think that's the lead singer. It's Brent something. I want to say it's Brent Smith, but I've listened to him give a couple of interviews, and he seems like a pretty solid
Yeah,
dude. Like just very very genuine, very
down to earth.
human. Like he knew he was like once he started making money, he's handing out his fortune to people who are trying to come up or people who supported him.
Yeah, that's cool.
He gave away $1 million or something like that just to make sure somebody behind him got a record deal or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the story was, but
Right. He had to give up something to make it happen for other people.
yeah,
That's cool.
and I always
I mean, what do you got it for? Like, if you're not gonna, I understand that, like, that's a big thing they talk about when people win the lottery. Is like the first thing you want to do is either A, don't tell anybody, or if you're gonna let people know, you pick a set amount that you're willing to give any and every person that asks you for money, and that is the most you will give them, and you won't go over it type thing.
yeah.
But I'm like, and I get that, but like, we didn't win this just to like let it sit in a bank account. Like, what am I gonna do with it?
I would want to leave enough in there that,
Realistically speaking, yes.
but also I don't believe in hoarding my good fortune like a dragon.
Right. Like, everybody's gonna be doing good.
Everybody should be doing good.
Yeah. Take care of yours. I'm not saying you gotta take care of the world, but take care of yours.
Love your neighbor.
Yeah. Facts.
That's what Jesus preached to people.
Facts.
Love your neighbor. But nobody wants to love their neighbor. And without getting on a whole
Tangent.
tear there, because we are gonna nail the timer here today. We are gonna thread that 45 needle and be honest about our time and our respect for you guys' time today, at least in this episode. So we're gonna watch ourselves on this one because
All right. If I blink twice,
that
we're in
that, that
trouble.
we're in trouble. Yeah, you watch that timer. Because I don't know, it's like 5 or 6 episodes in, we have not been able to thread the 45 mark.
Well, and it's like the worst part about it was I think the last couple episodes was on me because you were winding down the conversation at like 42, 43, and I was
Yeah.
like, but and then
Sidebar.
we slid right into something else for another 3 or 4 minutes, and I was like, well, okay, there it went, there it went. We're over our time.
We're all right. I mean, I at least we've never really gotten into that thing where like when Skylar was on and we were over an hour.
Yeah,
We
I don't
were
think we've
over.
even done a 50-minute episode since
I
then.
think this Zack Snyder episode was something like 59 minutes.
Was it?
I, I'd have to go back and look at the timestamps.
That's
I
fair.
don't remember
I don't know off the top of my
just
head either.
right off the top of my head. The emotional check-in episode where we talked about Hugh Jackman being in town was a real long one too.
That's right.
But 45 to 50 minutes is not entirely out of pocket.
Right.
It's not way out of line, but we do like to hold a standard, and 45 seems like a more reasonable number.
Yeah. It's the right amount of time. We don't want to
Yeah,
take up too much of your valuable time. We just appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us.
absolutely.
So now my question for you.
Oh,
Will you upgrade to the Switch 2 to be able to play your Switch titles docked?
better. well, that was my plan, and that's what we talked about last time. Was that whenever my tax check finally hits, it's my plan. Assuming Nintendo doesn't
Their prices.
raise their prices between now and that whatever far off somewhere over the rainbow point that is my plan is to swap out for a Switch 2 because
Mhm.
if I'm going to play it, I want to play it
At the best you can.
at the best I can on the best platform.
Hmm.
Like if I play PlayStation stuff, I want the Pro. If Xbox hasn't done their updated,
Update.
upgraded
Yeah.
console, whatever, they had like 8,000 versions of a 360.
Yeah.
And then there was the Xbox One and then the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Well, now unless the standard is digital to disc, and like
That's the only difference.
that's the only difference, then
There is a difference in the internals on the Xboxes.
yeah,
There
but
wasn't on the PlayStations.
between I that I can't speak to, but I know there is a difference in the hardware between the Series S and the Series X.
Yeah. Yeah, there definitely is, and there isn't in the PlayStation 5. Obviously, there is between the Pro, obviously, but I don't know about the Slim. I don't know if that brought any
I
more potential
well
in.
that I can't speak to.
I don't know why it would if it's still in the same price range as the original ones, you know. So let me ask you then, what's stopping you from getting a PS Portal or getting a, I'm going to butcher this name, like the ROG Ally that Microsoft has? What?
Well, to be completely clean and fair, I didn't realize that PlayStation had a portable until I saw the announcement that they had raised the price on the damn thing.
So now here we are.
So, if that's a new that if that's a brand new drop and they're like, "Hey, here's this thing. Oh, hey, right on top of the heels of announcing it, like right after launch, we're raising."
Portal's been out for years. It's at least been out for a year. I don't know. How much did they say they are now?
Oh, I don't remember. I know it was one of the things that
I thought it was already out. Yeah, November 15th, 23, with a rumored OLED version expected this year.
handheld streaming device for the PS5.
So, and then that makes me wonder, like, what is it?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but it kind of shoots me in the dick all the times I said, "Well, I wish PlayStation would get out their portability stick and start shaking it."
Well, I mean, they kind of did.
But I didn't. I was under the impression they had not released like a
PSP again.
handheld PSP like thing.
Yeah. I that was rumored as well, I thought, that they were going to do the same thing.
Well, I'd like to see them do that.
All it says is remote PS5 remote play. So that would mean that you either need to have the data, it needs to be a digital game with the data downloaded, or if you're wanting to play something that has a disc, the disc needs to be in it. And
Well,
it's going to allow you to play it over
Well, they
Wi-Fi.
they make a lot of those controller things where like if you want to play something
Yeah,
portably, like you have these controllers that you can spread up
Backbone.
and then yeah, stuff like that.
Backbone is the name of that thing. You can get those at the pawn shop
Yeah,
cheap.
those things.
Yeah, those are pretty affordable. But I mean, all that is your phone then has to stream it.
Yeah, and that's not the same thing. That's not.
And then you got the Xbox Rogue, Ally, 120 hertz, seven
I
inch.
still want to say that's that thing Skylar was fussing with a couple of weeks ago when I went to see him.
Probably. What did he say about it?
Oh, he didn't say anything about it. I just when I walked in the store, he had it on the counter. He had been playing with it.
Is that a Steam logo? What is that logo? That must be their logo.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's brand logo. They do appear to have a partnership with Xbox.
It's Microsoft's.
Oh, it is.
This this is
It is
this is
Microsoft's.
Microsoft's version of it,
Yeah.
and this is supposed to be 120 frames, 120 hertz, so 120 frames per second,
1080p
1080p,
display, 120 hertz screen, touch screen gaming.
$600. I see it. That, are you telling me that if I have a digital game, I can play it on that?
I would imagine if it's
Play
synced
over
to,
200 games from platforms like Xbox Game Pass, Steam, Epic Games, and Windows.
I'm guessing that means it's hooked up to your Microsoft library, so whatever you own digitally,
You would be able to access on here.
you should be able to.
Well, because yeah, it's not saying that it's like the Portal, where the Portal is just a remote play. This is its own thing, I think. I'd love to I'd love to see it and feel it. I think the pawn shop had one. I'll be honest with you, that might be the way to go because you can put things in there for layaway. If you put 10% down and then pay 10% every like 1 or 2 months, yeah, it takes a while, but before the price goes up, put it in layaway because Lord knows it's coming.
No, I'm definitely not trying to do that thing where I pay double market value for a thing anymore.
No, I mean I did it once too, man. I did it with the TV, so I'm not anyone to judge that situation. It sucks because I did the same thing. I got the TV and I went in, I got a PlayStation, and I went in, I got like furniture,
Yeah,
and I was like, this is ridiculous. There's way too much money. So they ended up coming and getting the furniture, and I think I gave the PlayStation back and just got one because I was like, if I'm paying you guys $10 a week for a PlayStation, just go buy one. At the time it was PS3. That
yeah.
was the top console. So when I got that TV that was 60 hertz. And at the time, nobody was really talking about the word hertz yet. So it threw me off that that was a thing, but it looked like a soap opera. The way like it was
I
so
love it.
weird.
I love that look.
Like, and I'd go to people's house and watch their TV, and then when I'd come home, it would take my eyes like 30 seconds of watching and be like, oh yeah, smooth. And now it's funny because we're just so spoiled at 120, you know.
Native 120.
People post videos like the slow mo guys on Facebook I follow. They post videos of them like shooting a balloon with a BB gun or something at 4,000 frames per second or 10,000 frames per second. It's just so cool to watch how things happen. Punch each other in the face. Watch your face like mold to the punch and
Yeah.
weird. But we've just come such a long way.
Especially from the old crank cameras that
Yeah,
people made silent movies on, you know.
that was the cool thing. So my wife's a photographer, and we went to the camera store in Indy to get her an upgrade. She got her one that was just, I think it's last year's model now, but um, they had like the old school still frames, I think is what they're called, where it's the glass and you put the liquid on it and you
Yeah.
not long exposure, that's something else, but it's an exposure type. You put liquid on glass and it puts the picture on it or whatever, and you only have so much time to work with it. They had a couple of those cameras there, and I was like, man, that'd be so cool to get into something like that because they get such crisp, beautiful pictures on that glass.
Imagine all the niche markets out there for people who still want to take pictures on film and develop film like in dark
It's
rooms.
not that, but like the disposable cameras are making a comeback. That is a huge thing. People getting a disposable camera and then printing their pictures out. That's coming back and being a big trend, which I'm all for it. I think that's cool. That's how we all took our pictures. You had 28 choices. Choose wisely.
You can't have it all.
It,
Decide what you actually want and then
yeah,
forget about getting the rest of it.
but my neighbor and I talk about this because he goes to auctions, and I wonder is the antique community going to die off soon? Like, are we getting to that point where antiques are going to quit being china and furniture and it's going to be more video games and TVs
You
and
are
like
you already see that in the buy sell trade shops.
yeah, like everything's just going to start evolving.
What's old is new again.
Yeah,
But
look at that time.
look at that time. We're gonna hold it. We're about 10 seconds out off of that 45-minute button, so we're gonna call it here, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Till next time.